Go. Let's try this again. Oh, man. Here we go. Yeah, YouTube is not sending out my notifications. Uh-oh. Yeah, YouTube is not sending out the notifications. Put this back on 20 minutes. Yeah, let's try this again. Let's try this again. Yeah, YouTube is not sending out notifications. Come on in, come on in, come on in. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and come on in. Yeah, I don't know. Something going on with YouTube lately. Something's going on with YouTube lately. They're not sending out. They're not sending out the notifications. You know, every they do this periodically, right? They do this periodically with algorithm changes and all that stuff out of the blue, right? Out of the blue, stuff will start messing up. Your channel will start messing up, right? People are not getting the notifications. People are not getting anything for whatever reason, right? Usually, even I get my own notifications, right? Blake Bradley says, "I heard they got a new CEO. Did they get a new CEO? Huh? I have to look into that. But yeah, as you can see, no notifications have been sent out. You could tell no notifications have been sent out, and you could tell by how when I drop my videos too. And I've heard sometimes they'll erase or turn off people's notifications. They'll turn off people's notifications. YouTube, you need to get it. You need to if you listen to YouTube, I know you listening, right? Stop messing with people's channels. Stop messing with people's channels. See, they don't mess with the chicks channels, right? When they be over there and putting their legs up and all that stuff, right? They don't mess with their channels, right? They want to mess with the channels, who trying to get people to improve, get men to improve and all that. They don't mess with the chicks channels, right? When they over there stretching, bending their back over and all that stuff, right? They don't mess with their channels. They push that all day in the algorithm. Yep. Let's show these ninjas. Let's show these ninjas some booty, right? Let's show these ninjas some cleavage. They'll push that all day long. But real messages, when you talk about real stuff, nah, they don't want to push that. They're like, you ninjas don't need to learn anything. They don't want you to learn anything. Right? They want you to be professional gooners, ninja. Right? They want you to always have your sack in your hand, pause, no diddy. Right? Speaking of no diddy, hey, Diddy may get off on that. I told y'all, speaking of no Diddy, Diddy may get off on that. Possibly. Right? If he does get found guilty of something, if he does get found guilty of something, it'll probably be something minor. Right? It'll be probably something reduced. Right? Because they're not going to be able to prove without a reasonable doubt that to prove a RICO. That's insane. They won't be able to prove without a reasonable doubt a RICO at all. Right? But anyway, what's been going on with y'all? Had to start a new live because I tried to share the live through notifications, right? Tried to share the live through notifications, and yeah, it knocked me off. It knocked me out. And as you can see, like you see the numbers, right? You see the numbers. That's not even my usual. That's nowhere near my usual. That's nowhere near my usual. So you can already tell that the that nothing is being sent out. Hold on one second. I'm gonna have to get on the let me get on the computer and share it so it don't X me out the live. One second. All right, Ninja, we back. Dan 22, what's going on? What's going on? But yeah, YouTube playing with my numbers today, but it's all good. It's all good. We're gonna go ahead and go anyway. But Blake Bradley says, if he gets off, celebrities better watch their back. Yeah, they better watch their back because he going after everybody. He gonna go on a rampage like Trump, right? But anyway, let's start this off with the creed of the outlier. I walk alone because I was never meant to follow. I was born to build what others were too weak to imagine. They rejected me for my strength, envied me for my presence, and feared the truth in my voice. So they gossiped, mocked, tried to shrink me, but I didn't bend, I didn't fold, and I won't start now. I do not chase the approval of the herd. I walk above it. I see through the mask, and I speak forged in pain and clarity. Even betrayal carved focus into my soul. Every lonely night built the calluses I now wear with pride. My mission is not optional. My legacy is non-negotiable, and my time is coming. I'm built for this, and I will win. Going on? You said did my super chat go through? No. So I had started a live, right? I started a live and it kicked me out when I tried to share it. So YouTube been tripping today. YouTube is tripping today. I don't know what they're doing today, but they messing with my numbers. They messing with all my stuff today. So if you try to super chat, no, I didn't get it on this end. I didn't get it on this end. But anyway, get started for the ones who are here, who did get the notification and all that, right? This is going to be one of those live streams that you need to listen to right here. That you need to listen to. Thinking is the new superpower, right? Thinking is the new superpower. And we've talked about this. We've talked about this plenty of times before, right? We talked about this plenty of times before. Uh, we live in a country full of sheep, right? We live in a country full of sheep. Whether we talking about social media sheep, whether we talking about political sheep, political ideology sheep, right? Whether we talking about, I mean, just all across the board. Most people don't stand out, right? Most people don't stand out at all. Most people are afraid to stand out, right? Most people are afraid to stand out from the sheep, right? Everybody, most people don't have an original thought at all, right? Most people just go along with what the mainstream media is pushing. Most people just go along with what's indoctrination camps, aka school, right? Most people just go along with what's being pushed in the religious sector, right? You Christians and everybody, right? Everybody just go along with whatever that's popular at the time, right? Nobody actually has an original thought, and that's what's going to make people stand out more than ever, right? Because we've talked about automation, we've talked about AI and all that, right? That's going to get rid of most of the meaningless jobs, right? The jobs that really don't require too much thinking, right? And even the jobs that do require some thinking, yeah, they're going to wipe those out too. But definitely the ones that require no thinking, right? For you Wally World, Jiffy Lube, Family Dollar working ass ninjas, right? That's going to be wiped out. So what's going to happen is either you're going to get down or you're going to lay down, right? You're gonna walk on your own 2 feet, right? Or somebody gonna help you walk, and you don't want somebody to help you walk, right? You don't want daddy government to help you walk, right? You don't want UBI to help you walk, right? You don't want somebody else to help you walk, right? You want to help yourself walk, right? You want to do it on your own. And this is a time period. And yeah, I stress a lot how a lot of things are going to change, right? For the worse, but also for the better for those who take, complete advantage, right? John says the women are poisoned by social media. Tap dating is cooked in the US. Yeah, that's been cooked. That's over with, man. Listen, that's over with. I mean, there's no need to even talk about dating in the United States unless it's for entertainment, right? There's really no listen. Red pill is done. Red pill has failed to evolve, right? We're in the after pill. We're in the after pill sector now. We're in the after pill chapter now, right? Red pill failed to evolve. They still have the same talking points, the same old talking points. Oh, she 304 and this and that. Like I'll do videos on that just for entertainment purposes. But as far as like real deal, getting any kind of insight, getting any kind of knowledge out of that anymore. Now that's all done. That's all done now. But what's so crazy is the majority of men are still out here looking. They're still out here looking for love, trying to fall in love as ninjas. Right? They got it all backwards. Right? They got it all completely backwards. They thinking they about to get out here and fall in love, ninja. They think they about to get out here and go 50-50. Right? They about to nah. It ain't gonna work like that. Dan 22 got my passport yesterday. I'm taking my ass abroad. Hey, shouts out to Dan 22. Shouts out to Dan 22. Dan 22 said, I done got my passport, ninja. It's time to skedaddle up out of here, ninja. Dan 22. Shouts out to Dan 22 for making that step. right? Shouts out to Dan 22 for making that step, Ninja. What's your first stop, Ninja? What's your first stop? I say go over there, make your first stop to DR, Ninja. Make your first stop to DR. It's gonna change your whole mindset, bro. You're gonna come back and you're gonna look at American women like, eh, nah. I just hop on a plane. I just hop on another plane in 3 months. I just hop on another plane in 3 months. Age of Cali, Disney fantasy ass Ninja. Exactly. Got Canada in the month. Okay, shouts out to the Canadians, Ninja. Right? Shouts out to the Canadians. But yeah, man. In today's time, the next move is to be a free thinker, right? Right? You thinking, oh, if you want to think on political lines, hey, you're not gonna win. Nope, you're not gonna win. Right? It's cool to hold on to whatever core beliefs you have, but if you want to think on a level of well, I'm a liberal, I'm a lefty, I'm a Democrat, or I'm a conservative, or I'm right wing. Like you're not gonna make it in a new world because those ideas are gonna they're gonna fade out. Shouts out to Abdiel Lawrence for the super chat. She can't go 50-50 when she has to start paying back those students' loans or face wage garnishment. Exactly. Exactly. Ain't no 50. See, dudes got it all messed up. Dudes got it all messed up. This is where the free thinkers, the real thinkers, are gonna win that, because these guys, I mean, they got it all twisted and misconstrued. Right? They want to see the dudes who want to go 50-50, right? And I'm not saying by no means like if you get married or something, right? Or if you have a long term girlfriend and you hit a rough patch that she can't, pick up the slack, or y'all on one page about building something, like she's only working because, right, you're still trying to accomplish, everything that you're trying to accomplish. Ninja, like you in medical school, or you going to dental school or something, or you grinding your way to where y'all need to be, and in the long run y'all understand, and came to the conclusion that, hey, we want kids and all this stuff, and hey, I want to stay home, I want to come out of work, right? I don't want to do this anymore, and I'm waiting on you to get to where you need to be. That's a whole different story, right? Dudes are cheap out here, boy. Yep, dudes are cheap out here, right? But nah, if it ain't something like that, that man, listen, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Listen, I remember I was at work, right? I was at work, and I was talking to this chick, manager, and she's married. She's married, but pay attention though. She's married, and I was like, oh, does your husband work here at the company, right? And she, listen, there's always truth in jokes. There's always truth in jokes. Shouts out to Moy for the super chat. I'm gonna get to that, Moy. Let me tell the story real quick. But I was like, well, where your husband work? Does he work here? Does he work for the company? Did you marry somebody at the company, right? And she was like, no, of course not, right? And she said this. She said these exact words. She said these exact words. She was like, I get caught cheating if he worked here. I was like, what? This chick literally said, she was like, I'll get caught cheating. She said, I'll get caught cheating. She said, I'll get caught cheating if he work here. I was like, man, I wouldn't even, if my chick even joked about some shit like that, I'm like, bitch, you out the door. You out the door. You hear me? That was crazy. I was like, all right, don't get caught, ninja. I'm like, listen, there's truth in humor, but I wouldn't even joke like something like that. Boy says was out last night with the former model baddie chick, and she said she wanted to do an OF page and needs help uh, with it because she needs more money. Hey, shouts out to her. Listen, I said don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me when I start grifting on you ninjas. Don't get mad at me when I start grifting on you ninjas. Right? When I start when I start helping with OF pages, you ninjas sign up for it anyway. You ninjas sign up for it anyway. And whatever is clever tap, your show, take your time, and we love you, brother. So problems of, yeah. Moy, yes, go to the Republic. John says, damn shit freak. Yeah. The world, you said the world punishes men for having kids. I mean, it depends on your predicament, right? It depends on your predicament, right? So it just all depends. It just all depends. Depends on your tax bracket, depends on the woman that you chose to lay down with. It depends on a lot of things, right? But all together, we need more herding dogs and not sheep. We need more herding dogs and not sheep, right? Everybody's a sheep now, right? Everybody's a sheep. Everybody's picking sides. Everybody there, like I said, there's no original thought. Everybody's either regurgitating something somebody else said, or they're in a sleep state, right? Because most people don't hold any original thoughts and ideas, right? And that's what a problem arises today at, right? That's what a problem arises today, and that's why we're seeing a big pushback in the corporatocracy, getting rid of people, right? And I say all the time that Americans need to get off the nipple, right? Americans need to get off the nipple. Americans need to come off the nipple, right? I've been saying that for the longest, right? I've been saying that for the longest, but now we're seeing it. Now we're seeing it actually happen, and people are panicking, right? People are panicking because they've been on the nipple so long, they've been babied so long, right? The corporatocracy has been helping people for so long, has been paying the bills for so long. Nobody knows what to do without the corporatocracy, right? Many people have gotten so used to not thinking, but it's also been, programming. It's also been, done on purpose, right? From grade school, 2 years old, 3 years old, all the way up into high school, all the way up to the collegiate level, right? All the way up to the collegiate level, right? They've programmed you. You thought that they programmed you to think, right? You thought, oh, when you got to high school, oh, I'm thinking now, or you thought when you got to college, oh, I'm thinking on a higher level. No, they just programmed you to think for the company, right? They programmed you to be a better worker, right? They didn't program you to be in competition with them. They didn't program you to be in competition with them. They don't want you to be in competition with them, right? They want you to be engulfed into the corporatocracy. They want you to be reliant upon them, right? Moy says so many out here that need help, but they do not like men. Hold them accountable. Happened to me 3 times this week. LOL. And then another chick told me they don't like to feel out of control. Yeah, it's all over the place. This is why some masculine men pretend they're beta. Yeah. Well, yeah, rich people are not punished for it. She is a closet freak, and I'm going to go help her be an open freak. Hey, listen, I'll charge her a fee. I'll go ahead and charge her a fee, right? I go ahead and charge her a fee. Get a percentage out of it. You might as well. You might as well, because that's the new thing anyway. That's the new thing anyway. And they fresh out of school, right? Fresh 18, what? Fresh 21, freshly going to college. You might as well. You might as well, right? I remember this chick. This chick. Have I told this story? I don't think I told this story, right? Man, I got a lot of stories. But I was at work. I was at work, and this she's freshly 18, right? She's freshly 18, super duper pretty, right? Super duper pretty, right? And she was showing me all the guys. She was showing me all the guys who cash up her for her hair and nails and everything. Mind you, this chick just literally, like, she was just, seven. She was practically 17, but coming up on 18, right? She was showing me all the cash apps and all that stuff that dudes be sending her, right? For her nails and the hair and all that stuff, bro. 17 going on to 18. This chick talking about some she charged dudes for conversation. She was telling me she charged dudes for conversation. I'm like, Like you would have to witness this. You would have to witness this to actually see it. Right? She charged for conversations, and like you talking about dudes who are like 40 years old, 50 years old, right? Like she literally told me she told me this exact word. She was like, your dad probably in my got my number. This is what she said. So think about if she's 17 going on 18, right? If she's 17 going on 18, just think about when she started. She didn't start at 17, right? She didn't start at 18, right? She didn't just start. Nah, she had to start around 14, 15 years old. That's the truth nobody wants to hear. They've been starting. When you talk about feet pictures, right? They're already doing that. When you talk about Instagram acting like they're older than they actually are, they've been doing that, right? I mean, they've been doing that since before social media, and dudes been getting caught up, right? But to actually see like how young she actually is already, like receiving cash apps and all kinds of stuff, and mind you, she was a good 8.5. Like she was up there. She was up there. I'm not gonna take that from her. She was up there. But even I say these things, but then when you actually see the proof, in the pudding, right? It's like, dang, these girls actually out here making money, right? She barely 18. And dudes already sending her all kinds of cash apps. Oh, go get this done. And it's no telling, it's no telling what else she doing, right? It's no telling what else she doing or even requiring, right? But hey, brother, all goody, take her for a nice night. Yeah, picks the R. Kelly and Diddy. I wouldn't be surprised. It's no telling who been at those parties. God bless her soul. She been in the streets. She's been all the way in the streets, right? She's been all the way in the streets. But yeah, and then a lot of guys they don't like to hear this because many guys are asleep, man. Right? Many guys are asleep. Right? They're asleep at the wheel. They sleep at the wheel. They sleep at the wheel. They think we're still operating in the old days. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you refuse to adapt and you refuse to accept before your very eyes what is going on, what is happening, you are if you're out of luck, right? If you refuse to accept what's going on before your very eyes, if you refuse to understand and accept the truth of what's happening here in America, and I mean, quite frankly, if you refuse to understand and to accept that this is happening, listen, I don't know what to tell you, right? And what's so crazy is guys want wives by any means necessary. I've never seen this kind of junk, right? I've never seen this kind of junk. Dudes want wives by any means necessary, right? Moy says I pay for everything last and my car effed up because it thought that there was fraud. She freaked out, LOL, and then when I gave her cash, she calmed down and took a cab. These chicks really broke out here. Nah, a lot of them broke. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, a lot of them broke, and they'll laugh. And what's so crazy? They'll be broke. They'll be broke and call you broke. Make it make sense. They'll be completely broke. They'll be broker than a joke, but then call you broke if something happened like that. And I've seen it happen. Right? Oh, he's broke. Right? You sleeping on a blow up mattress. You sleeping on the but most of these chicks are broke. Most of these, and it doesn't matter if they're making make some money. They'll make some money, but they'll be completely cleaned out. They'll make some money, right? Maybe a nurse or something like that, right? Making a lot of money, right? She's making 75, maybe 100K, but they can't never keep on. They can't never hold it though. I was in the army for 5 years. Soldier with married chick who can't cook or clean just so they can get off the barracks. Yep, I've seen. Right. I know women are like children, so let me vent and they chill and then they f me. But yeah, it's still annoying. Yeah, but these dudes by any means necessary, right? But then when push come to shove, when they get those papers, when they get served those papers, then they try to act like, well, I caught me off guard and all this stuff. No, and then she didn't catch you off guard. She didn't catch you off guard. You seen the signs. You already seen the signs. You knew it from the get go. But you wanted a family by any means necessary. You wanted a woman by any means necessary. And like I said, if you don't know this already, then you just asleep at the wheel. But 99.9% of y'all are going to get left. Right? Go ahead and digest that. Right? If you do choose to go down a route, right, of having a family, getting married, and all this stuff, 99.9% of y'all are going to get leftovers. Right? If she isn't like a part of like something radical like Islam or something, right? Or if you found her young, and I'm talking about young ninja. I'm talking around, maybe 16, right? Pause, no diddy, right? If you didn't find her young and y'all like met in like early high school or something, y'all lost y'all virginity together, right? Most of y'all, 99.9% of y'all are gonna get leftovers, no doubt. Especially if you over the age of 25 and you get a chick somewhere around the same age range, oh, that is over with. That's over with. After high school, after college, it's done. Right? After high school, after college, it is done, ninja. Right? High school, she done got school. Then when she got to college, ninja, she got poked many times. Right? It don't matter if she went to an all girls school, Catholic school, ninja, she done got licked, ninja. She done got licked. Right? There's no escaping it. Right? Even the big dogs, even the rich guys, right? All of them, they getting leftovers too. They getting yacht models and chicks who used to be on different men's yachts and they used to be models getting flown out here, flown out there. They getting leftovers too. They getting leftovers too, right? And yeah, you may get more feminine, may get more cultural when you go overseas, but outside of that, ninja, nah, leftovers over there too, ninja. You getting leftovers over. There's no escaping it. There's no escaping it. And y'all need to go ahead and digest this. Go ahead and put it in your system. Go ahead and update. Go ahead and update your firmware because it seems to be that a lot of guys don't understand. I know most of y'all probably understand this, right? Most of y'all probably understand this. But when I'm actually talking to guys in real life, they do not understand this. Like when I'm talking to guys at work, right? They are asleep. Say, yep, my friend last night was a model and she is my age. More be out here in these streets. But when I'm talking to these guys, young guys and older guys, right, at work or just out and about, they do not get it. They don't get it. They are so lost in the sauce, it is crazy. They are so lost in the sauce, it is crazy, right? And this is the majority. This is why I keep saying. This is why I keep saying it's going to be 90%, and you're going to have 10%, right? The 10% is not just going to be in financials, right? The top 10% is not just going to be in finances and monetary things. It's also going to be in knowledge. It's also going to be in discernment. It's also going to be in maneuvering through life. 90% of people, right, especially men, as we move forward into the new world, because we're moving into the new world, whether you like it or not. Right? You can claim, oh, I remember. I'm always hearing, middle-aged dudes and old dudes. Yeah, when I was, around 10 years ago, and we used to do it this way. Ninja, don't nobody care, ninja. Don't nobody care how you used to do it. This is the new world now. Welcome to the new world. This is how it gets done. This is what's being pushed out. This is what has been. This is what has been pushed onto us. Ninja, you either gonna get with it or get rolled over. Get with it or get rolled over. You keep trying to bring back the old days, 1965. This is not 1965 anymore. This isn't 1965. This isn't 1975. This is not the 80s. This is not the 90s. This is not even the early 2000s. This is 2025, right? Shouts out to Moy with the super chat. Most dudes out here in real life are such simps, sucker for love. Ninjas, it's not even funny. It's not even funny. It's really sad. It's really depressing. It's really depressing. I was talking to this young guy. Right? He was like 2021. And he was just telling me, how he prefers to go 50-50 and all that stuff. And right. And what's so funny is he called me a simp. He called me a simp because I said I'd rather see a woman in her utmost femininity. Right? He called me a simp because I said I'd rather see her in her utmost femininity. So what does that mean? Getting her hair done, getting her nails done, keeping her home, making sure she's kept, so on and so forth. He's like, man, you simping. I'm like, dude, bro, you have no clue what you're talking about. Right? But he want to go 50-50. He talking about, well, if we're staying in the same place, she needs to pay the bills too. I'm like, bro, you might as well go ahead and bend over, ninja, and call on Diddy, ninja. Pause, no Diddy. You might as well bend over and call on Diddy. Go ahead and call up because it sounds like you want a daddy. Come on, man. And I was telling him, I was like, bro, I met so many chicks who complain about dudes like you. I told him I met so many chicks complaining about dudes like you. Right? They up there complaining like, oh, he wants me to, yeah, I got a boyfriend, but he's not, he's still between jobs. He's trying to, find his way and all of this stuff. Dang, Moy going in with the super chats. But he was just like, he was just, they're like, oh, he's trying to find his way. I really wish I can get my nails done. And, I really wish I can do this, but, I still got to work. And I done told chicks straight up, I'm like, yeah, you need to go ahead and find you an older dude, get you up out of here. Like I've came across chicks that should not be working. I'm like, girl, you are too pretty to be working. You need to go ahead and find you a sugar daddy. You need to go ahead and find you somebody 10 years older than you, right? Because whatever that ninja doing, maybe he laying down the pipe, right? Right? Or maybe that's the only pipe or best pipe that she's had. But let a grown man who paying bills and all that stuff put that real pipe on her. It's gonna change her tune. It's just gonna change her tune, right? What's going on, boy? Boy with the super chat, he dropping them back to back. I appreciate that, boy. With or without a woman or family, it's so sad to see men that scared of death and scared to be alone. One day we will die, and that's a fact. Most men are just scared of death, aka being alone. Right? I mean, it's a thing. It's a thing. Like it just depends, man. It depends. If you that scared of being alone, I mean, it creates desperation though. It creates desperation. So if you that scared of being alone, I mean, don't get me wrong, right? It's cool to have somebody by your side. It's cool to, have that companionship, right? But it's gonna come down to if you're able to find that companionship, right? To find that companionship. Most men are not for that companionship, right? Because most women are not in the predicament to accept a man at the bottom of the bottom just for the sake of companionship. It's not gonna happen, right? And like the saying, women like to say, "Well, I can do bad all by myself." I mean, it's kind of true. It's kind of true. Why sit up? Why sit up and lay up with a sucker, a brokey, a man that's not doing anything, a man that's not being productive? Why sit back and lay up with a man like that? When I mean, at the end of the day, you might as well go to work and you'll probably make more money and save more money than if you were with that guy, right? So I get it. I get it. I'm not even knocking them for it. Because a lot of guys out here, what's the new word? What's the new word these days? Chopped. A lot of guys out here chopped. That's the new word they're using out here now. A lot of guys out here chopped, right? They broke, beer belly, Ninja. On top of that, Ninja is not even the best looking, not even the best looking on the roaches, right? So but then at the same time, these chicks expecting NBA level salary because they many of them been at these parties, right? They've been at these parties. They've gotten a DM or two, right? And now they think they punani is worth an NBA salary. All of them do. All of them do. All of them. They think they punani worth the doctor's salary. They think they punani worth the entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur, whatever rich guy, whatever he doing. They think they punani is worth it. All these chicks think they punani is something special, right? They all think it's something special, but it ain't. It ain't. That's why Dan 22, if you still in here, Ninja, yep, go ahead and over there. Go ahead. And this is where traveling opens up. Moy said it the other day. It opened up your mind, your spirit, all that stuff. Right? Desperation is the enemy of attraction. Jay Garcia, we ain't going back. Feminism fought tooth and nail to get here. It's raps. Oh, it's a raps. Especially with the new gen. With the new gen, it's a raps. Right? It's a raps. And I was just yeah, it's a raps. Right? And the sad thing is, right? The sad thing is, there's a lot of programming. There's a lot of programming that went into this, right? There's a lot of money that went into this, believe it or not, right? It's a lot of money, billions of dollars that's been poured in programming, right? That has been over the decades that has been poured into programming the men, the women, the children, right? This is all a diabolical plot, right? It's not just done on accident. This has very well been done on purpose, right? Very well done on purpose, right? And the sad thing is really sad because at this point it is what it is. Most men especially, they want to escape their programming, right? Most people they want to escape the programming. They want to escape it, right? Dan 22 says, "Bet I got DR on my list for next year." Ninja, I may be out there. I may be out there again in October. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna be out there again for October. I'm gonna slide on through for like Halloween or something. Right? Halloween is big out there. And the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is big out there. So I'm gonna slide through in another 3 months, Ninja. I'm gonna slide through in another 3 months. Skedaddle. Jay Garcia television, they always make the men look dumb and fat, happy wife, happy life. And you know what's so crazy? Guys still live by this programming. Right? Everybody want to be rich. Nobody wants to put the work in. Everybody want the nice car. Nobody wants to put the work in. Everybody want to do this. Nobody wants to put the work in. Right? Men that get on here and claim this and claim that. That's why I keep saying that the red pill is done. The red pill is trash. It's full of a bunch of hypocrites and a bunch of guys who really don't want to do anything. Right? They just want to sit back and complain. Right? Most men just want to sit back and complain. They don't want to tap into their creativity. They don't want to really break their programming, because if you really wanted to break your programming, guess what you'll do? You'll break your programming. Right? It's not that many men can't. It's just that they don't want to. They don't want to think. And this is something that I had to come to realize, right? Most people understand that they're asleep. Many people do understand that they're asleep. Some don't. Some are just sleep, just sleepwalking. But others, they understand that they sleep. It's because they don't want to think. They don't want to do all this thinking. It's why people are so addicted to the corporatocracy, right? They're addicted to having jobs. They need a paycheck. They need a consistent paycheck because they don't want to think outside of the realm of this job, right? Or this corporation, right? They want to go to work, get paid, and turn on Netflix and Hulu and just sit back and chill. They don't want to have to think. They don't want to have to think, right? But now people are being forced to have to think for themselves now, right? And either two things are going to happen. You just people are going to sink and they're going to swim. That's just the nature of the game, right? Every gazelle don't get past the lion, right? Some gazelles got to die. I'm sorry. That's just nature. That's nature, right? Some hippos, they got to get up out of there, right? Everybody can't slide past the lion all willy nilly. The gazelle is fast. Oh, they for sure fast. They can run up to some good speeds. But when that lion catch you, right, putting that 300 some pounds on you, right, and that bite force, oh, it's no escaping it. So that's the unfortunate part of nature. Some people are gonna sink, right, and some people are gonna swim. Right? Dan 22 says, "Yep, guess it's true. Ignorance is bliss." Yep. But a lot of these guys out here, they're still living by that same motto: happy wife, happy life. Nah, that don't even make any sense. And this is what I mean by, if you're a thinker, you're the one that's gonna make it in the next new world, right? In the new world. Shouts out to Moy again. Moore says, I'm at 400 subs. Tap would love to pay you, do a call-in show together. When I hit 500 monetization, you have motivated me to take this content creation serious. That's what I'm talking about, man. Let me clap it up for Moore, man. Let me clap it up for Moore. That's what I'm talking. At 400 subs. And when did you start your channel, Moore? When did you start your channel? Like, you started this what? Of not too long ago? What, 2 months, 3 months? And you're already at 400 subs, right? You're already at 400 subs. That's what I'm talking about, right? That's what I'm talking about. So the kingdom of heaven is within. People need to realize they have God in them, and we can do anything we put our mind to. Exactly. Started taking it seriously 3 months ago, right? Jay Garcia is in the gym right now. Fitness helps me fight another day. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, boy. And I think Dan22 got a YouTube channel over there. Go and subscribe to Moy, and go over there and subscribe to Dan22 as well. But that's what I'm talking about, right? 400. But before you know it, you at a full 1,000. Before you know it, you'll be at full monetization at 1,000, right? Or full subscribers, and then you got to do the watch hours and all that stuff. Before you know it, you'll be right there. Yep, Dan22, he has his YouTube channel too. And this is what I mean. And this is what I mean. When you put that work in, you put that work in. Right? Like even now. Even now. See, I've already built up enough mental fortitude to handle the waves. Because YouTube happens in waves, right? They have algorithm changes. Sometimes they mess with your channel, not push out your notifications. But my normal numbers, right? My normal numbers, I hit anywhere between, on average, 40 and 50 concurrent. On a lot of days, I'll hit, 60, maybe 70 people in here concurrent, right? As y'all can see, it's only 18 people in here, 16 people in here. This is not my normal numbers, right? But it happens though, right? But it's not always about looking at the numbers, right? Sometimes you gotta not even pay attention to the numbers, because you can make some great content, right? Because as y'all can see, I changed the thumbnails up, basically being more creative with the thumbnails, being more original, right, with the thumbnails, right, and set myself apart, right? But even if you make great content, great thumbnails, right, not all the time is it about that, honestly. Sometimes you just got to sit back and wait, right? Sometimes you just got to sit back and wait. I get 1K likes on average, but I only have 400 subs. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. But yeah, like I said though, not all the time should you be looking at the numbers. Don't even pay attention to the numbers. The numbers, don't even think about the numbers. Right? Put out good content, right? put out something of substance, whatever that substance may be, whatever industry you're in, and everything will come together when it comes together, right? Everything will come together when it comes together. I still have to show y'all. I still have to show y'all my new setup too. We're gonna get there. This schedule change has, it's putting me to work. It's putting me to work. This schedule change because before a minute ago, right? We'll go live. We'll go live in the studio for about what at around 6, 7 p.m. So now I'm still trying to deal with the whole schedule change, and because now I'm at work in the afternoon into the night. So kind of got to get around that, find a way to get around that, but we'll get there though. I'm just uploading and making videos every day. That's what it's all about. That's how I started. I just started uploading, making videos every day. Right? People weren't watching. People were watching. Right? Barely people watching. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. But sometimes your video get 5 views or something like that. Just sit back and chill. Right? And if you pay attention, if you look at even some of the bigger channels, right? Some of the bigger channels, they'll have what, like 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. Sometimes they'll even average out to like 1K views per video, right? So a lot of times it's not even all the way about even how big the channel is, which that does matter. That does factor in how many subscribers you have, but sometimes that's right because then you'll have smaller channels, but then you'll have bigger channels who may not be doing the same number. So it just depends. It just depends, right? But you have to build a community around your stuff. This is where the winners are going to come in at, right? This is where the winners are going to come in at. Creativity, right? True creativity, true authenticity. This is where the winners are going to come in at. If you can be authentic, if you can be creative, right, and original, right, you're going to stand out. Right? Don't think that oh, everybody's doing this right now, so I should probably lean towards this. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Because yeah, it may be a trend right now, but then in the long run, the original ones, the authentic ones is the ones who last, right? Not the ones who are doing the same thing over and over again or copying everybody else. Oh, they did that thumbnail like this. Or they made a video about this. Let me copy that or it ain't gonna work. Right? Because here's the thing, right? The new people of power, that's the new for the new world. The new people of power are not gonna be politicians. They're not gonna be politicians. Hell, they may not even be the mainstream billionaires that we see today. Right? The new power structure is going to shift to those with an audience. Yep. The new power structure is going to shift to those with an audience. So yeah, if you're a politician and you have a million people behind you, then hey, it'll work out for you. But the power structure is shifting to those who have an influence, right? Those who have an audience, right? That's where the new power structure. Content creators, yes. When you think about people like Hasanat, when you think about people like dang, I can't even think of people's name on top of my head. But y'all get what I'm saying. Big streamers, right? Huge streamers, right? Those are gonna be the people with the power. Right? Because everything with the new generation, they're not looking at mainstream media. They're not looking at NBC, CNN, Fox News, right? No, who's watching? Who watched that shit? Who watches that? Right? You have boomers, Gen X, and probably older millennials who may watch the news. Right? Boomers still read the newspaper. Right? Mainstream media is dead. right? John says they're the new celebrities, exactly. But as far as the new Gen Z, younger millennials, and Gen Z and younger, right? They pay attention to YouTube. They're watching Twitch, right? They're on Snapchat. They're on Twitter. They're not watching hell, some of them can't even tell you about the latest news on the mainstream media, what lies they've been told. So the news be lying. Hell, most of them don't even check the weather before they go outside. They just walk outside. Oh, it's about to rain. Forgot my umbrella. Yeah, I forgot about TikTok or TikTok. TikTok. Yeah, they're not watching mainstream media. So the next people who are gonna have the power, and this is where people don't understand the advantage that we're. Yeah, everything seems all doom and gloom right now. Right, everything seems like it's all doom and gloom right now because the legacy system is self-destructing. That's why. Let me say that one more time for y'all. The legacy system is self-destructing. They're getting rid of the legacy system to bring in the new system, right? Social currency. That's what's next. Social currency, cryptocurrency, influence, followers. That's what's next, right? We've kind of already been in that wave for the past few years, but that is it. That is what's next, right? And as you can see with somebody like Donald Trump, Donald Trump was no politician. He's a billionaire businessman, and he was a TV personality, for a good minute too. Right? He was no politician, but as you can see, that is the direction that we're headed, where people are venturing away from politician into people who they more so can, make them feel good, who they can feel like they relate to, or things of that nature, right? It's gonna move away from the whole political game. It's gonna move away from that, right? Mark my words. Remember I said that. So over the next 5 years, 10 years, don't be surprised when you start seeing people like Castanet run for president, or Kanye West, ninja. Don't be surprised if you see Kanye West run for president, ninja. Don't be surprised. I mean, he tried to do it already, but Kanye West gonna mess around and get on there again and probably win on y'all. But that's the new wave. That's what's going on, right? Say not Kanye. Boomers will not die. It seems like boomers have been alive for too dang on long. Boomers just won't die, ninja. I told y'all. Elon mess around and drop those forever chips. If Elon mess around and drop that forever serum, right? They ain't gonna never die. Boomers gonna be vampires. They're gonna be in power for forever. Especially if Elon dropped them forever chips. Ninja like, this helps you live to 500 years old. We're gonna have a purge, ninja. Gen Z gonna go crazy. Start wiping out the boomers, ninja. Gen Z gonna go crazy. No. No. Boomers are on that Elon shit tap. Yeah, they on that Elon junk. They were like, nah. We ain't about to let these goddamn Gen Z destroy this goddamn gone country. Gonna get that Elon chip. Ninja gonna turn into vampires. They ain't gonna never die then. I think everybody hates boomers. Everybody hates boomers, to be honest with you. Especially after Gen X. Gen X are still similar to boomers. They still have some of their characteristics and stuff like that. But anything after Gen X, right? Millennials, millennials hated their parents, right? Gen Z also hate their parents too. So, and they definitely hate boomers, especially when you see where all the wealth and everything is concentrated. And then just like, man, let's go knock off a boomer real quick. Let's go knock off a boomer. People didn't even care. People didn't even care during COVID, did you? People didn't even care during COVID. As a youngin, did they care if 60, 70-year-olds were perishing, didn't you? They didn't care, Ninja. It was like, oh well, they old. It was like, oh well, Ninja. People, the news, legacy media was like, we have to protect our elderly. You have to wear a mask because we have to protect the elderly. The young was like, man, F the elderly, Ninja. It was like, F the elderly, Ninja. They ain't wear no mask unless they were required to by law, Ninja. If it wasn't that, Ninja, they was like, oh well, F the elderly, Ninja. It's about time. It's about time they died anyway, Ninja. It's about time they died anyway. Ninja showed they true colors during COVID-19. Ninja showed they true colors, Ninja. Ninjas walking around coughing on purpose. Ninja. Is that a boomer over there? Boomers were walking around terrified, Ninja. You can see it in their eyes, Ninja. Am I next? They're walking around like this, wide-eyed. Well, I remember back then. Ninja was scared to cough. Ninjas was scared. Ninja had to wait till you got outside the grocery store to cough, Ninja. Took a big old cough. Right? You messed around and coughed in the grocery store, Ninja. You bound to get locked up. You bound to get locked up if you coughed in the grocery store. Ninja didn't want to breathe wrong, even make it sound like a cough. Hello, 911. This ninja just coughed in here. I think he needs to be exterminated, Ninja. I think he needs to be CDC walking in here. Sir, did you cough? Did you cough, Ninja? I mean, I drunk some water and it's like, all right, lock him up, Ninja. We got to take him downtown. CDC, Ninja. We might have us one, Ninja. Sir, did you take the vaccine? Did you take the vaccine? No, I didn't take the vaccine. All right, he's not vaccine. We got to get him. We got to poke him up. We got to poke him up. Boomer Biden, pardon, Boomer Fauci. Yeah, man, it's the same power moves. It's the same power moves. Yeah, it's the same power moves. Same old power. Right? They gonna pardon whoever they want to. Whoever their buddies is, they gonna pardon them. Right? I seen a video of Sleepy Joe. He out there on the beach eating ice cream or something. He enjoying the rest of his life that he has left, Ninja. You ain't worried about y'all. Biden like, yeah, I did my dirty work, but it's time to chill now, Ninja. It's time to go to the Dominican Republic, Ninja. Time to go to the Dominican Republic. Have me some little Dominican chicas, Ninja. Eat some ice cream. Ninja, he does not care about what y'all got going on. He said Sleepy Joe in his 94 crime bill, yeah. But he does not care. But yeah, anyway, man. Yeah, so I hope y'all got something from this live stream, man. I hope I gave y'all some motivation. That's a new thing. Creativity. So just hold on. Remember that. Put that in your head. Creativity. Creativity, being original, authenticity. That is going to be the new currency. Social currency. Building an audience, right? Building a community, right? Those are going to be the new things that's going to make a lot of people rich. A lot of people ain't going to make it. We still on a 90-10 rule. A lot of people are not going to make it. But if you're able to withstand, because this is all a game up here, right? It's all a game up here. Remember that. It's a mental game, right? So the ones who are going to win is the one with enough mental bandwidth to survive, because life is going to play all kinds of games with you, right? The Matrix is going to play all kinds of games with you, right? Maybe you without a job right now. Right? Maybe you trying to make ends meet right now. You trying to do something on the side at the same time. It's all a mental game. Remember that. Right? Because at this point, shouts out to Just Today with a super chat. At this point, I've been through so many, trials and tribulations. I understand now when life throws me a curveball, right? But life is testing you, seeing how bad do you want it. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Are you able to pick up a pen? Are you able to continue doing whatever you're doing on the side while it's raining, while it's storming? That's what's going to set you apart. Most people run when it starts storming, right? Most people run when it starts storming. Most people can't withstand the rain, right? They go take cover. But can you be the one when it's hailing, when it's lightning outside, right? When everything is going to shit, when everything is going to the gutter, right? Can you be the one to withstand all of those struggles and all of those trials and tribulations? Because that's what's going to set you apart. That is what's going to allow you to win. Because most people are weak. Most people can't handle anything mentally. Most people are mentally like just gone, right? They're mentally weak. They can't handle a single struggle, right? They can't handle anything. People can't even write in cursive. Yeah, I'm one of them actually. I can only do my signature, Ninja, but they took cursive writing out of school in like third grade. So don't blame me, Ninja. Don't blame me. But that's what's going to set you apart in the new world, because the new world is coming. It's already happening. So are you going to get with it, or are you going to be left in legacy in the legacy days? And by the time you look up 20 years in the future, I mean, you're too late, right? You're on UBI now, right? Still trying to make ends meet. It's going to be too late. So if you got a YouTube channel now, get on it. Shouts out to Age of Cali with a super chat. Cheers to greatness. Yes, sir. If you have a YouTube channel, start now. If you got a business idea, start now. Right? Don't pay attention to the noise. Don't pay attention to what's going on the outside. Yeah, it looks like the sky is falling and chaos and all of that. Don't pay attention to it. Put your head down, work. Put your head down, work. And that's an after pill. Right? Let's go ahead and say our creed of the outlier before we exit out. I walk alone because I was never meant to follow. I was born to build what others were too weak to imagine. They rejected me for my strength, envied me for my presence, and feared the truth in my voice. So they gossiped, mocked, tried to shrink me. But I didn't bend, I didn't fold, and I won't start now. I do not chase the approval of the herd. I walk above it. I see through the mask and I speak with conviction forged in pain and clarity. Every betrayal card focused to my soul. Every lonely night built the calluses I now wear with pride. My mission is not optional. My legacy is non-negotiable, and my time is coming. I am built for this, and I will win. Shouts out to y'all. Moy says, wow, Tap actually being positive. I'm always positive, Ninja. I'm always positive. You got to sell the doom and gloom, too. Ninjas want to hear the doom and gloom because that's what's actually going on. But I'm always positive. I have to be positive, right? How do you think I make it? Ninja, how do you think I'm able to catch a flight? How do you think I'm able to work hard, Ninja? See, it's a whole game. There's a whole game to this, Moy. It's a whole game to this. It's a whole game to this, Moy. It's a whole game. Shouts out to y'all, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.